Hello guys, Tom from cartfeed.com here. I'm at Barston Lake in the West Midlands. It's normally under the flight path of West Midlands Airport, but thankfully no aeroplanes flying overhead just yet. There's a match on the big lake behind me, but I'm here to see some new Daiwa kit for 2021. So we're going to have a look around. I'm going to flip the screen round and we're going to have a look at some new Daiwa offerings. There's a lot of luggage. There's, as you'd expect, some rods and some reels from Daiwa, but let's have a look at what they've got as we flip the camera around. Now, I'll be honest, Daiwa's luggage hasn't always been the best thing that they've done. It's always, to me, seemed a bit of an afterthought, and it's not quite grabbed the attention of carp anglers, but they've really thrown some time and effort into their new luggage range for 2021. They've branded it under the Infinity brand, which, as anyone who follows Daiwa will know, is one of their top high-end tags for all their kit. And we're going to start here with some rod holders. Now, most people will know over the last 5 years or so that rods with retractable butt sections have become really popular, and Daiwa have responded with a rod holder to suit. Now, this is the EXT rod holder. The RRP is well under 50 quid for this. I think it's 44.99, so it's a well-priced item. It's got tough 600D material. All the items here have got that tough 600D material, and these are for storing those rods that collapse down, those 9 and 10 footers that collapse down with the retractable butt section, and we will see some rods of Daiwa's own in that space very soon. As you move up, there's something for everyone. There's a standard rod holder for 10-foot rods. That's the one just there, and then we've got two 12-foot rod holders here and a 13-footer in the middle. There's one here that's a 3 up, 2 down, which holds 5 12-foot rods. We've got a standard 13-foot rod holder here and a smaller 12-foot rod holder. Now, you can add to these. You've got external pockets. This is the smaller 12-foot rod holder. You can clip on individual rod sleeves. Now, Daiwa have got a few options here. You can see this. As you can see, it's all branded under the Infinity System branding, which Daiwa only bestow on their top-end kit. So this is a quality kit, although the prices are very reasonable. These rod holders here range from 45 quid up to, I think, 69, or it might be 65. So pretty good value for what you're getting. They're nice and simple. They're not over-engineered. And as I said, you can add to them. You've got rod sleeves that you can clip on to the side, so you can turn the 3 rod into a 5 rod. This one is an extendable length rod sleeve, so this can house 10-foot rods, it can house 12-foot rods or 13-foot rods, because it's got a Velcro sort of hood at the top which you can adjust. And then you've got just a sort of top and tail with a reel pouch, which if you want to travel really light, you've got an elasticated rod protector for the butt and for the tips. So plenty of options here. And now this is all part of a new drive by Daiwa under their Infinity System. Really have thrown some effort into their luggage range, and that continues here with some Carryalls and a ruckle. I really like a ruckle. I think it's a good design, and it fits the way personally that I like to fish. So that's where we're going to start. This is the ruckle. It's got big side pockets. Now, Daiwa know that the best-selling tackle pouches on the market are those from Corda, and it fits them perfectly. So it's been engineered to fit, you know, the best-selling tackle boxes and pouches on the market. All of these have got a hard EVA top, so you can use them effectively as a bivvy table, and they all are designed to slide under a bed chair. So they're nice and low to the ground, but with large external pockets. This one is the ruckle. So you've got a rucksack, you've got 2 straps here which can be unclipped if you want, and each of these ranges of luggage items has got a hard wearing waterproof base and that hard top as well. Inside they're all lined and they're wiped clean. This is the standard Carryall. Again, got that hard top, that EVA top. Large pouches fit those best-selling tackle boxes and pouches on the market. And it's modular, this system. You can fit in extra bits and pieces from Daiwa. These pouches can fit in upright or they can lay flat, and various configurations. I really like these. These are little EVA pouches with the clear top. Great for lead pouches. These are sold in a pack of 3, where you get the larger one and you get 2 smaller ones. I think they're $17.99. And in terms of the RRPs, I'm just going to look to Jack, who's here from Daiwa. I'm looking for the RRPs on the Carryall and on the Ruckall. We're just going to double check on those because I've forgotten there's a lot of RRPs to remember here, but I think they are pretty reasonably priced. Again, it's the Infinity system here, so we're I'm just double checking. Yep. So it's $69.99 for the Carryall and $74.99 for the Ruckall, which I think is pretty good value. They've got the colour just right. The branding is understated. Now, and as I said, I think this marks a return or a resurgence for Daiwa in this area of the tackle market, in the sort of green hardware area. Their rods and reels sell themselves, but this stuff, it's new. They've thrown a lot of effort behind it, and you can see it all laid out here. We're going to move on. There's a little bit more for us to see. There are rods and reels, don't worry about that, that's coming. 2 new chairs here, one that fits over a bed chair, so that will clip over a bed chair. Then you've got extending front legs. These are both $74.99, and you've got a low chair with arms, nice and comfortable. And then this is Daiwa's first ever sleep system. Now, a few companies do sleep systems, but this is Daiwa's first entry into this market. That's a genuine 4-season sleeping bag, so you won't need anything more than 4 seasons when it comes to fishing still waters in this country, that's for sure. But it's nice and compact. It's 6 legs, all 6 are extendable and adjustable. Big mud feet on the bottom, and as is the fashion these days, it's a lie flat bed. There's no ratchet wheel to roll onto and hurt your hip on. Plenty of padding, but it's a compact sleep system. It's dual layered. I'll open it, and under here is a cover, which I'll show you in a moment. But they've got a nice sort of peachy soft underlining, and then a micro fleece on the top with good quality crash zips as well. And it even can remove entirely from the bed for cleaning, and then you've got the bed that lies underneath it. So you've got a dual layer system there, but it's not overly bulky. It is a genuine 4-season bag. I'll put that back. That is 250 quid. All in is that sleep system. Daiwa's first ever sleep system, 250 quid. All this stuff is set to land around December time, I believe, so not too long to wait. This is a cover that you can get for the bed chair. It's not a thermal cover, and it might blow away, so I might have to stuff it underneath the bed, but it's a simple wipe clean cover, so when you're sitting down and you've got mucky items that you might put on your bed, you can lay it over, and I think that's about 11 quid. It's not expensive at all, but that sort of fits like a fitted sheet over the top, and that's Daiwa's first ever sleep system. There's a few other bits of fish care range that's coming. This is a fold up unhooking mat, nicely padded, proper padding on this, as you'd expect from an unhooking mat. Plenty of features like a roll out kneel mat, which is tucked under here at the moment. There you go, to get your knees on, and then a nice big pocket for all your fish care essentials. Sometimes the pockets on the side of unhooking mats can be fairly small. This one definitely isn't. You could fit your scales, forceps, bottle of clinic or similar in there. And then the inner mat has a retractable sort of meshing that you can lay over the carp just to protect them while you put a rod to one side or just to calm them down. And the inner mat also comes out and has carry handles on it, so you could take this as a stalking mat and you could fold it up and carry a rod, some bait, catapult, something like that in there, and still have an inner mat to use safely when you catch something. It comes in a nice stuff sack with a roll top. Hopefully you can see that as I try to wield it one-handed. And there's a new sling, a floating sling and weigh sling, and some landing nets as well. Now this one is branded up as Crosscast, and it has a lovely slimline spreader block, very nice and strong metal spreader block there. This is a one-piece 6-foot handle, quite chunky down the bottom, but a nice shrink wrap or shrink rubber handle and a nice carbon weave on it. But if you're looking to travel light, and we mentioned the EXT range when it comes to the luggage, the EXT range extends into a Black Widow EXT landing net, and this handle is telescopic. Now I only have one hand here, so I'll try and operate it, but there we go. You can see an extending telescopic landing net handle. It comes with the landing net as well, so those are brand new under the Black Widow banner, which is offering good value for money. I'll leave that there. Now, Daiwa are synonymous with rods and reels, so obviously we've got some rods and reels to show you. Some really interesting developments here. Sometimes it can be a little bit tricky to work out the Daiwa rod hierarchy. What's the top end rod? What's the lower end rod? Sometimes the labelling can be a little bit tricky, but what they're now moving towards is matching the rod names with the reel names. So what I've got here are some Emblem rods. Now most carp anglers will be aware of Emblem reels, but there's now a set of Emblem rods. So I'll pick up the butt section of this one. This is the 12-foot 3.5 pound test curve. These start at 125 quid, so they really fit the Emblem reel family. So they match in price and quality the reel which bears their name. So this is an Emblem rod, the first time the Emblem branding has been on a rod. Started at 125 quid, and it's not a stupidly elongated range. There's a 10-footer, there's some 12s and a 13-footer as well. So it covers all bases, 10, 12, 13 foot test curves, generally 3 and 3.5 pound test curve. And I think the 13 foot, having played with that this morning, could be a real weapon in the right hands. And again, well priced with that Emblem price point. Now this is what has excited me this morning, and I think Daiwa will sell a lot of in 2021. We mentioned EXT when it came to the luggage. EXT is referring to this extendable butt section. Now yes, it's been done before. Nash were the first to bring it to market, and other companies have done so before. But Daiwa, unlike almost everyone else in the market, certainly the larger manufacturers, have their own factories and their own ability to develop and create carbon and spec rods exactly how they want to, without having to take off the peg designs from factories in the Far East. Now what we've got here are two really well priced retractable butt section rods. The first one is under the Crosscast banner. If you can just see that detailing, that says Crosscast EXT. Now that EXT is that extendable butt section, so these pack down to that small pack down size. I hope you can see adequately on the video here. This is the Crosscast version. Now these start at around about 70 quid. I might be slightly off by £5 or so, but I think we're looking at a starting price of about $69.99 for these 10 footers. I think there are 9 footers as well. Really well priced, and they look quality. You've got quality fixtures and fittings here, as you'd expect from Daiwa. But perhaps even more remarkably is that there's a Black Widow version, which Black Widow being the sort of value for money range from Daiwa. These ones start at $34.99, which I think is staggering for what you get. As I said, Daiwa can spec their own rods. They're not reliant on off-the-shelf solutions from other manufacturers. Daiwa, they make some of their high-end rods in Britain, and they make rods elsewhere in China and other parts of the world as well, but they are Daiwa factories. Now these are $34.99 for a retractable butt rod, which, you know, if you're fishing a dodgy area, if you're fishing a canal or something, and you don't want to take your best gear, then, or you want to pack light for a holiday, or you want to have something in the back of your car, then I can't really think of much better than that. So that's really interesting. These are all coming later this year. I think December is when they're coming. Now some of you are only here for the reels. Let's be honest, this is Daiwa. We love a Daiwa reel. There are 3 new ones here in front of me just to round off this selection. Which one should we pick first? Which one shall we go for? Should we go in price order? let's go in price order. It's hard to tell these days which one is the cheapest and which one are the more expensive, because the lower end reels are looking incredible. But here we go, this is a brand new spod reel. I think it's about 125 quid. This is the Crosscast Spod 45 SCW 5000C QD, another snappy title there from Daiwa. They do love a long reel name, but this is it's a high-speed spod reel, so it's great for cranking in those spods. It's got a shallow spool, that 45mm spool depth, which is what Daiwa have extensively tested and found to be the ideal spool depth for long-range casting. Nice and light, but nice and tough. I think anyone watching will know the reputation of Daiwa spod reels generally, and you'd like to think that this one will be just as bulletproof as that classic Emblem that's been around for 20 odd years, and it, I think, is Daiwa's best selling reel ever. But this is a new option, perhaps a slightly sleeker looking version. That's the Crosscast Spod, and as I say, it's about 125 quid I think RRP on that one. But I know you all want to see some real porn. Let's start with this. This is branded Daiwa Whisker. Now, if you've been around for a long time, that brand Daiwa and Whisker will really strike a chord. It's something that's adorned many Daiwa products down the years, and always some pretty high quality ones. I mean, this is lovely. I love the sort of red detailing here. It's mag sealed, it's got a one-touch folding handle, and this is the perfect reel, Daiwa say, for these smaller rods, for these retractable butt section rods, for those 10-footers that are increasingly popular. This is the reel that you're looking for. So I'll put it next to the Crosscast Spod, and you can see the size difference. It's a compact reel. I think it's a 25mm spool size, so it's not an out-and-out casting reel, but it is pretty lovely. It reminds me, I think it looks like a modern version of those baboons, you know, the Daiwa, I think they're the Emblem X's, I might be slightly wrong, but known as the baboons for their unique rear end. But I think it's got echoes of that, the red flashes. I think it does conjure up a sort of modern day version of the Daiwa baboons. 375 quid, not cheap, but it is pretty special. I do like that one. And then we're going to finish on a new Daiwa Basia. This is 700 quid plus, so it's quite an investment, but it's hard to convey to you just how light it is, and I'll try not to drop it in the wind, but it is just a thing of beauty. And again, they've gone for that red detailing. I think Daiwa have been a bit bolder. There was a period where everything had to be matte black and colourless, but there's a lovely bit of detailing in there. Sadly, I'm holding the phone in one hand, so I can't oscillate that spool by reeling, but you'll just be able to see a bit of red detailing coming through with that mag sealed logo there. It's got a very slimline handle. New Basia, this one. There's all the detailing on the side. The 45 SCW 5000C QD, another tongue twister from Daiwa, but a beautiful looking reel. And that really concludes our look at the new range of stuff from Daiwa. As I say, to conclude, I think my overriding impression is that Daiwa have finally really thrown some effort, some thought into their hardware, their luggage. It's often been a bit of an afterthought perhaps, and that's not been unkind to Daiwa. We know how good their rods and reels are, but this is a real investment into a proper line of luggage. I'm very taken by that Ruckle in particular, and there's certainly more to come. It's all branded under the Infinity System branding. There's more to come, and I'm sure on cartfeed.com and on our YouTube channel we'll be doing more in-depth reviews of all these items. But that's a quick roundup of the new gear from Daiwa, coming I think in December, but certainly into 2021. Thanks very much for watching.